Hi, I'm Kathy Randall, and I'm here with another Maple Minute. I am here with Gary Dysark, one of the committee members for the Maple Festival, and
Matt Freeman.
who is actually one of the guys that's going to be going out tapping the trees for the Maple Festival. Gary, can you tell me what really happens when you're tapping the tree to make it into maple syrup?
Well, it's something that happens in the spring. After the freezing winter, you start having thawing days, and that's when your maple sap will start running. You need freezing nights and thawing days.
So the weather that we're having here today is like really ideal for tapping the tree?
Yeah, you want to tap just before the thaw. This is actually ideal to keep the season with us because we had a thaw spell there last week that went on for probably 4 or 5 days that actually started the trees progressing into budding, which is bad. So this cold weather helped us setting everything back, and we're just waiting for the next thaw to make the sap run.
Okay, so now Matt, what do you actually do to tap the tree?
We take a 7/16 bit and we bore a hole in about 2 to 3 inches, tap a spile in, and hang a bucket and lid. Wait until it fills up.
And how long does that usually take?
It usually takes 24 to 36 hours to fill up to the top.
Okay, so then now after the sap is in the bucket, then what happens? Who wants to answer that question?
We go out, there's about 3 of us with a tractor and about 250-gallon tank. We go out with 5-gallon buckets, we gather it, and then we bring it in to filter it, and then we boil it down to make pure maple syrup.
Okay, now and this is the equipment here that kind of does that boiling down process. You want to walk us through it, Gary? Let me get behind here. And you can give us maple syrup making 101.
Okay, this is an evaporator that you use to boil the sap down into maple syrup. It takes, on the average, of about 45 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. It's a long process.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
How many days are we talking? Weeks, days, months?
For
just 1 gallon of maple
Oh,
syrup?
no. It takes, once you start up your evaporator, it's generally a couple hours till you get your first batch off, which is probably like a couple gallons at a time. And then it's about every 20 minutes after that you draw off another batch of about the same amount.
All right, that's not bad. Then what happens?
Okay, the sap will come into your flue pan here, runs through a preheater, and it'll come into your float box, which regulates the level of the sap in your pans.
It's a little frozen in there now, huh?
Oh, freezing out. And then it's all gravity fed, and it works its way through all the troughs, and the further it goes along, the more boiled down it is, and the thicker it gets.
All right.
And it'll work its way down into your front finishing pan.
Okay.
And there again, it keeps working its way down and around until it hits over here where you'll draw your syrup off.
And then once it actually hits the bucket in here, we're talking pure
100%
maple syrup. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then you use a hydrometer to make sure you're right at the right density.
Okay.
So you're not bringing it off too thin or too thick. If you get it boiled down too much and too heavy, it'll start crystallizing in whatever you're canning it into.
Okay.
So you want to make sure you're at the right density when you take it off.
Wow, this is pretty interesting. It's really cold in here, and I take it this is just the ideal temperature in order for this whole process to work properly.
Yeah, it is. Like I said before, it's ideal for keeping the season with us, but now we're just anticipating another thaw so we can get making more maple syrup.
Now, how long do you like for the season to last?
As long as it can. The longer the better, the more syrup can be made.
Well, Gary, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us and show us the process. And this is Kathy Randall with another Maple Minute.